All right, let's get this started then, shall we? What is your name and what is your project? Well, I am Edwin Hubble, a renowned astronomer, if I do say so myself. While one day I dream of getting a satellite named after me to explore the universe, I've mostly charted the stars and galaxies. Little did I know when I first started that I would find that the Milky Way is not the universe, but just a galaxy in it. When I saw the Andromeda Galaxy, then measured its distance away from us, it was outside the confines of the Milky Way. That could only mean one thing. The Milky Way was not alone. Then imagine my surprise when I figured out that the universe was expanding. Yes, expanding. I've summed up my findings into what I call Hubble's law. The farther a galaxy is from us, the faster it is moving away from us. I've also developed a scheme for classifying galaxies based on their age and form, but that's not as exciting. What were you trying to find? Well, when I first started out, I was simply attempting to find special stars known as Cepheid variable stars, which my associate, Henrietta Leavitt, found to be great tools for measuring the distance of the universe. I wanted to expound on her work by finding and measuring more of the stars so that we could chart the galaxy. Where did the project or experiment occur? Well, my work was done at Mount Wilson Observatory in California, where the world's largest Hooker telescope was, measuring at 100 inches. I needed it to be able to find the Cepheid variables. What other significant events were happening around the world? Well, it started out as an amazing time. The Great War had just ended. An economic boom had followed, industry took off even further somehow, if you could believe it, and automobiles were becoming far more popular, and women had finally gained the right to vote. Unfortunately, our luck would not last for long. With the collapse of the stock market last year in 1929, this blasted depression began. Who else was involved in the project? Well, I was mostly by myself, but my work was largely built on Henrietta Leavitt's findings, as I mentioned before. Other than her, Milton Humason worked with me at the observatory and did many of the calculations of the redshifts and helped me a great deal with my theories. Oh, yes, that's right, redshifts. My colleague Vesto Slifer came up with the term. He found that the elements in stars give off unique markers and that stars appear blue that are moving towards us, while red stars that are moving away from us. With his findings, I found out that the universe is expanding. What was your role in the project? Well, I was the lead, of course, but before that, I was a simple staff astronomer. Then I found the Andromeda Galaxy, which everything, evolved from there. After that, I became a permanent member, meaning I was in charge. What impact did your findings have on the physics community? Well, I broke the physics community, at least our current understanding of it. We had believed that the universe was static, unchanging before my findings. With my law, I opened up many new avenues for future research that physicists have to grapple with. They now must deal with how the universe is expanding and with where it is expanding from. Not to mention, every theory that supported a static universe, even Einstein himself, had to be rewritten. All right, and this is, I believe, the last question. Is the universe expanding at a constant rate? Now that's a tough one. Well, it's really hard to say with our current technological limits. It would not be surprising if the rate was not constant. We don't even know where the edge of the universe is, given that there is a definitive edge. Then how would you even calculate it? Oh, the horror that astronomers would have to go through to calculate that. In sum, I have no idea.